Alrighty. Are we looking on? Says we've got an excellent connection. Alrighty. Fantastic. Round two. And still just very much beginning this painting. So this was it this afternoon? Might have been this morning. I grabbed some gouache. Gouache. I wonder if I can show that to you. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it Pabeo or is it Pabio? Anyway, let's hold that up to. Oh, is that going to show? Probably not. Let's try it on this one. Pabeo gouache. This is a Black Lake. And I use gouache to do a wash over my paper. So my paper was a now what do they call it? Is it anthracite? I'm not sure. It was a dark grey type paper, and I do a wash of black gouache just to I need it darker. And so what I've done is I've put gouache in here. Let's just zoom in a bit. I think that might be this one. So you'll see I've done Neela's eye makeup and lashes. And this is just blocked in for her eyebrows. A little bit under the nose and edges of the lips. But her hair has now been blocked in with gouache. And a little bit under her arm, which is not here. So let's just make that clear. Poor Neela. This is just a shadow under her arm. If I didn't have that area, I should have a very odd looking arm. So, but I needed to, this area here is where my darks and lights are. Let's see if I can just improve the manual focus a little bit. I don't want to put it on autofocus because it's that there, I think. I think that's it. So this section of the painting that I'm starting on, that I'm blocking in, this is going to be the lightest part. So if I just bring up the image, the reference photo I'm working on, there we go. This is Neela, and around her forehead, on the top of her cheek, on her chin, the shoulder over here, and just coming down a little bit on her arm. That's where the light parts of the painting are going to be, but it's particularly bright. The light's hitting her around here. You can see a bit of light's bouncing off her throat as well. That's nice. I'll just bring the picture right across so you can see. Let's try and get her aligned. There we go. So, yeah. All right, that's close enough. All right, so I'm going to, what I want to do is get some space defined around her body. And what that helps me do is just sort of, what happens is I tend to go straight to, if I do the arm first, and like I'm doing around here. If I do all that first, what happens is I do up to a line, and then I get quite scared, bringing in the background and hesitant. And that's just how I paint. It's not how everyone paints, but that's how I paint. And so you need to sort of come up with ways to deal with your own issues. Goodness, it sounds like a therapy session. So I'll just bring up some, these ones here are magentas. And this is violet. But I also want to bring in I think around the edge. I think I'm going to use a we'll have a crack with this. Is that one showing? Move them up. This is a turquoise at the bottom. It's what's the time here in New Zealand? It's 7:30. So I've just got my studio lights on. Yeah, it's really light. So that's going to be the colour off your top. It's always interesting to see how that works against the... And I'll darken this up as I go, but I'll just get a sort of a halo going around Neela. And then I want to be painting right up to that edge later. I'll just have a look at my reference photo. So anyway, with her, now that I've got my darks in for her here, yeah, so this is going to be, let's just get that going. We're going to be lighter. We want a graduation of light. So this will be darker. This section's going to be dark. And we'll work our way out to the light. But anyway, just doing the gouache, and the pastel will sit right on top. But it gives me a lovely dark, and I suspect I probably will just leave the gouache for her makeup. I'm not sure. Great thing about painting is you don't have to fully commit to the program until later on. And I want to use a version of this darker, it's quite inky black around here. Oh, for her tattoo is going to be more a darker turquoise. Whatever shade I'll probably end up doing that because it's a little bit of detail with pastel pencil. Anyway, I wanted to do some painting today, and turned on my PC and it said, oh, there's a update from Windows is gonna install. Always a bit dubious about that. And sure enough, it was a massive update. 24H2, I think it's called, which promptly, apart from wrecking a bunch of settings, so I couldn't get my stream going. Like, why is everything broken? Thank you, Microsoft. You jerks. I mean, I understand releasing something quickly to market, but a company that's the richest company in the world, assuming that Tesla's not doing so well, you think they'd release stuff that's at least been fixed? And so the worst thing was, I went to try and reset my settings, and Windows told me, you can't do that because this PC isn't licensed. I'm like, what the heck? I paid for a Windows 11 license. What do you mean it's not licensed? So you Google that, and sure enough, there's a whole ton of people that lost their license was deactivated. Thank you, Windows. What a cheap way to try and get us to go buy new licenses, update us, break our machines, and then I was like, oh, good grief. And then I got to go find my old Windows license. Where's the product key? I wasn't thinking pleasant thoughts about Microsoft at that stage. I was thinking, I wish Linux would hurry up and become a viable option. Anyway, so what I needed to let the gouache dry anyway, so that was okay. Let's just not complain too much, David. It wasn't the end of the world. I'm sure I'll complain when that happens. Anyway, Neela looked a lot better once I blocked in her hair, because she was looking a little bit like one of those Mexican festivals of the dead. It can't be helped. That's just blocking in is always a bit scary. It does take a bit of courage to let someone paint you, because you're not quite sure if they're going to mess you up or do you justice. So thank you, Neela, for letting me paint you. It does look much more turquoisey in the studio light at the moment, but it's lighter than that. I wonder what this is the pure colour. Well, that's real bright. It's not a great camera, the one I've set up to show what I'm selecting. But hopefully it does give a view of when I'm picking up the pan pastel off the pan. I wonder if I can get that in shot. Let's do it from this one. So when you're picking it from the pan, so this is what my applicator looks like. Just gently pull it across, and you just get an edge. That's all you need, right? If you put any more on, it's just going to clump in one spot, and you'll be annoyed. The pan pastel's just going to grip it. You can't do much about that. It's actually a really nice black outline around her arm. I'll think about that. And while this is essentially a monocolour to begin with, I am going to add other colours to it. So no stress. Pastels painting's very much about the colours working together, playing off each other. So I'll get some blues going on over there. I just want to get this sort of an outline going around here. It didn't take too long for the gouache to dry, and the great thing about gouache is you can reactivate it. Let's put down some more later, so I might come back and blacken some bits up, or I may create my own black. Nice. This is going to be quite lighter over here. And because I'm doing a big painting, it's just going to take longer to fill in. And I guess because I'm painting live, there's always sort of a tendency to go, maybe I should rush this. A lot of art is done in time lapse on YouTube. And my channel's all about, well, this is actually this time it takes to paint. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's quite relaxing anyway. Just let it take whatever time it's going to take. Life's always in a hurry. Painting's one of those things which can just slow you down. Let's tune out the world for a little bit. Hello, Donna. Dear Donna. I'm just doing a halo around here, Donna, to that'll just help me tune in my colours a little bit more to where I want them to be. And I'll get on and I'll crack on and do just a little bit more skin tone on her face. Wondered about doing maybe an ear or her lips, but I think I want to dial in the skin tones first. And then spread those skin tones onto her arm. Okay, and then this is going to get darker over here. So I just want to tell myself where that's going to happen. I want this to be purpley dark. So when I say purpley dark, let's put some violet up there. You can't see that. I don't want to get carried away with that. Oh, my goal wasn't to do that today. My goal is to. That's going to need to be quite bluey down here. A blue-violet descend into sort of the ocean depths over here, which would be, I think this is Payne's Grey. Yes, it's not a bad blue. Where is the phthalo blue? Phthalo blue, I think, is what I want. Yeah. What it's going to be. And it's going to, I can't help myself, it's going to have some purple stuff in there. So I want it inky. So now she's safely outlined. I can colour in the lines. Perfect. And we're all safe. She's contained. So I can do that. Just clean this up. Let's put that over there. That's yellow. One up there. Alrighty. So where am I with here? Right, so I'm going to just tidy up these ones. Otherwise, all we'll do is have a background episode and that's a bit boring. These down. And I thought I might grab some titanium, drop that in there, and let's see if we can get a. So, I don't know if that's showing properly on the camera. Let's have a wee look so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, the bright lights, studio lights, you can't tell. Studio lights, that's no good. The titanium is, I'll just clean my hands. The fresh baby wipe. I'm sorry about the plastic going into the oceans. Oh yeah, she's starting to pop. Right, so I needed that background to just make her pop a little bit. And next week we will get the lips at your ear done. See if I can adjust my lights. They're just a little bit, maybe I need to turn them down a wee bit. Maybe even bounce that. It's a bit better. Just a bit too bright. Ooh, we're a little bit in shadow. Sorry, we'll just. I haven't done any evening painting for a long time, so we will make do. Anyway, where are we at? I need to bring up my photo now. And zoom in to her face so I can see the colours. Neela is particularly pale in this photo. Particularly pale. And, got some interesting greys going on around here. So I don't want to lose that. And those greens, I said we weren't going to have greens, but we'll just have to have greens because I see them now. I'm going to use a little bit of iron oxide. And get the, because I'm right at the early stage of the painting, the pastel mat's going to be grippy. I need to just keep shaping it to pull that colour across. And follow the contour of her face. Just mix a little bit of titanium. See what we get. Okay. So if you missed it earlier, Donna, her hair, I blocked it in today with gouache, a black gouache to keep going to get the darks because it was too washed out, and I didn't think I can use purple and blues for yeah, or over here. I can use purple and blues together for the blacks to create the darks, but wanted an underpainting, and you can, gouache is so thin, it just sits on top of the paper, and it's no problem to put pencils or, you know, it's not like acrylic paint. So you just put your pastels on top. Is that orange? Ooh, let's get a bit more light in here. This is killing me. Lovely little subtle colours. New forehead. Why can't you see the reference pack? Thank you for asking that, Donna. You can't see the reference pack because I ended up putting trialing the camera to show what pastels I'm using. I'm actually streaming with 3 cameras at the moment. Amazing, my computer doesn't blow up. I thought just for once, I do bring up the reference picture from time to time, so I'll do that. So you can, here we go. I've got a big one. There you go. Just try a bit to in the right. I think I need to move my easel around a bit. Straighten that up. That's, have I got it? Something like that. Maybe she's a bit bigger. There you go. So that's where we're going, and you'll see in the photo it because she was in a studio and it's clever photographer and she's got the lights. She's got that very smooth skin that comes from being in a photo, and I have to try and ignore that. That's what I have to do. I have to try and ignore it. And go, well, we're going to have to fill in her skin. With colour, because that's how we're made. We've got all this beautiful colour in our skin, and I think I've never asked her. I think Neela is Indian. It's very white in this picture. So some of my Indian friends have got very dark skin, but that's not what's happening with Neela. And I'm just trying to put some subtle, I've got ochres, burnt sienna, an iron oxide tint, permanent red, orange. That's it. I don't want to make her too yellow though, because I've got a tendency to make people yellow. I've got to knock that on the head. The paint you're using looks blue in the pan. This one here. Yeah, I just opened up the the blind, and that camera can't really cope with it, and that will. Yeah, no, it's not though. It's just got a. It's there probably is some reflection of my blue shirt back onto the pants. I think that's what's happening. It's a good lesson for me in doing streams in daylight rather than at night. But you don't know unless you experiment. Quite a yellowy. Might just use an orange to make that quite clear. Yeah. There. So that'll get blended out, but I need to see there's a shadow there. I wanted a bit of red on her nose. Oops. Red there. Some red in the shadow. I need to get a pencil into to do her nose. Details around the nostrils and I just bring in a pencil now. I'm looking at just mark it. Interesting. Curve. Yeah. That'll be some pencil work. That's okay, we're not there yet. We're still just working on arms. Into here. Just keep seeing green. Just frustrating. Who knew she had green skin? Not a green screen. We'll just get some muscle around here. Use the burnt sienna and a red. Okay. And we're just going to build it up. fix that bit. Fix this. The edge right. You. Fix you. Excuse me. Scroll down to her arm. Got skin going that way. Got skin up and around. That. Yeah, studio lights are very white. I wonder if I can bounce. See if what happens if I turn this one off. Trying to get a truer. This probably puts me really in the shadow, does it? Just want to, and we'll turn that camera off. Just so much reflection off here. Now I'm nearly painting in the dark. Fantastic. Let's have a look at my picture. Just want to try and capture. So we've got skin coming that way. It's just, this is a muscle here. Now, do is quick, like ripping off a bandage. Get in there. You know, every time I use burnt sienna, it never works for me. Never. So that's why I end up going back to using things like ochre. Burnt sienna should work. It don't. But that's okay, because in doing a painting, I'm just going to do a stylized representation of Neela, not a 100% accurate one. So if I say she's got ochre there, then she's got ochre there. There is, it's not ochre, it's something else. I try an umber. I've tried umber a few times and Haven't quite got the hang of that one, but we'll see. There's a bit of life and energy happening. We've definitely got. I'm going to get some of that into here. Ooh. And we're going to tone that down, so don't worry about it. Because there's some fantastic violets I want to get going. Try and touch into that jaw as well. That back a bit. Snow red. That's good. We're getting there. Stand over. Fingers burn. Older. Two. So just as I'm pulling this across, let's check and see how bad the light is in here. But what you'll start seeing, I see it, is that apart from it blending in, it will also, you will see it in the next vid, and the light's better, but it's bringing back the grey of the wash underneath. And that's what I want. I want to get some greyness back into the skin, because we often try and paint out the grey. I wonder if I should Botox here. A little bit too much grey there. And I'll use the, I've got to blend in some more colours to show the, get a bit of red in there. We'll just keep knocking it back. But this is sort of a brow ridge line. That'll blend in okay. So I want a bit more red, and it looks like we can dare to put a bit of orange up here. I don't know if it's super orange, but we can knock it back. Get a bit of excitement and energy. Hairline. Blend that in. Goes. And remember the contour. Always follow the contours, and the painting will appear. Okay, that's a bit of titanium white. Scary dropping that in. Don't use pure white or black, they say. Certainly don't put it on top of your freshly painted gouache. Okay, they're just there for... They are just there as placeholders for her eyebrows. Oh, I like that. There we go. Oh, she's starting to look a lot better than where she was the other day. So patchy. Loosen. They actually got very strong features, which is quite a delight to paint. Okay. I think we sort of reached a point tonight where the light is just no good. If I turn on the studio lights, so I'll just put the lights back on. And those lights enable me to see properly, but it just blows out all this light. But you get a bit of a turquoise view, and the block in with her hair, I'm very happy with. But I want this sort of where you see it quite bright turquoise. I want that a lighter bluey something on her top, and so having I can see I've just really got to fix her arm before we finish up. I don't have to fix it, but because I'm going to be painting this for some time. But I want a bit of... Do I want... I actually want a bit of red in there. Is that my red? Up a bit of red. Seeing magenta in here. Put a red in to begin with. The marker. And I'm going to find something to replace this stinking burnt sienna. If the day Pam Pastel say, hey, David, we want you to be an ambassador because you always talk so much about us, it's the day I say, get rid of that burnt sienna. I'm not promoting that ever. Something light up there. It's light. Comes down. But I think instead of the sienna, I'm going to use, what do we got here? This is umber. Oh, we'll try a little bit of umber. I got something I can. This is probably going to be a disaster. But I can own a disaster. I think it's more. I tend to use things like these greeny yellows. This is Diary Light yellow, extra dark, and they work quite well for me. So I suspect it's going to be that, but I just want to test a little bit of umber. Shadow. So she's a little dark. You'll be like, that's so small, David, I can't see that. Is even picking it up? It is. It's too heavy. I've used this umber before. You can blend it in quite heavily. Let's try that. I might drop a I see purple coming down her arm, so I think that's just going to end up being quite stylized with, and that purple that I'll have over here. Let's just drop a bit on, just to. It's only a little bit though. So there's a shadow that comes around here. So just a little bit of violet right up here. Yeah, you know, that's going to do it. Yep. Okay. All right. So tonight I needed to check that my computer was still working after that stupid Windows update. It seems to be. Donna hasn't told me off for too much, so that's fantastic. Thank you, Donna. Apart from not having my reference photo up, I'll bring that up again so you can see where I'm trying to take this painting. There she is. So we got coming down this arm, this is going to be sort of much richer colours. This is her true sort of skin tone, I think, coming down there. And yeah, so she's got a lot of light up top, and we'll have darker skin tones. I've got to do some sort of graduation coming down here. But I'm fairly happy with how this is starting to take shape in the forehead. And I've got some tricky stuff to do around her nose and ear, so I might do some pencil work on that. Might do a pencil work episode on an ear, because ears are always, they're a heck of a thing to do. Just, oh, if you can get an ear done, you can feel pretty happy with that. Yeah. I'm very happy with, I'll just zoom in so you can see again the, where are we? We want to go. Console, reset to. So I use the gouache to, let's see if I can change the light a little bit. There we go. So I use the gouache to block in her eyelashes and eye makeup. And I think if that all works out well, we'll just leave that as gouache rather than will pull through skin in the what are those, your eyelids. So that'll get pulled through, but she's starting to get some colour in her cheeks. So that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for dropping by, Donna, and my other viewer. Really appreciate you doing that. And I'll be back on Monday, I think, streaming then, if I don't happen to do one on the weekend. For now, have a very good weekend. Hooray.